Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. And today I'm going to ask you a question. It's one of those deep questions, so I don't want you to just give me that knee-jerk response, that knee-jerk answer. I want you to take some time and really think about what we're talking about today. And so that question I have for you is, would you prefer a guy who likes you, loves you, or respects you? Now, I know your first instinct is, but Joe, I want all three, and I get it. That's the goal. The goal is to get all three. But I really want you to think about it. If you only can pick one of those three things, which one would it be? Now, before we get into the details and I give you my explanation, my interpretation of what the most important of the three is, what I want to do is talk about this thing called attraction. Okay. The reality is you got to be attracted to somebody if you're going to spend the rest of your life with them. I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. There is no way that you can do the horizontal mambo, that you can stick your tongue down a guy's throat unless you're attracted to him. So there's got to be a baseline of attraction that has to be there. I'm not talking about, not one of those people say the guy could have the biggest heart in the world. He could worship the ground you walk on, but he looks like a troll. You should go for him. Not at all. There's got to be some level of attraction there. So let's keep that on the table. Let's make sure that we understand that first and foremost. Okay? Cool. Now, if I had to pick between being liked, being loved, and being respected, guess which one you think I would pick? Well, if you said number 1 or 2, liked or loved, you'd be wrong. Because I'm going for number 3. See, because the reality is, if you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone, they've got to respect you. They've got to respect who you are as a person. They've got to be there for you, and they've got to have your back. You know, when I made my checklist for love, that was one of the most important things for me. Is I needed someone that was always going to be there, that was always going to be someone that I can turn to when I need him, that was always going to have my back. And that was one of the things that made me fall in love with my wife. See, when I met my wife, I was attracted to her. I was like, she's okay, not bad, she's a good-looking girl. Wasn't like, you know, wow, I've got to be with this one. This, you know, these butterflies and rockets and, you know, all that bullshit. You know, it wasn't any. It wasn't this instant amazing chemistry. It was none of that. It was literally, seems like a nice girl. I'd like to know more of her. And that's kind of how it started. And the more we dated, the more we went out, the more we got to know each other in and out of the bedroom, the more easily I saw that we worked together, the more it's like, this is the kind of relationship I really want. You know, I had those toilet bowl crappy relationships. I had those, you know, crash and burn relationships where, you know, everything was going really fast, amazing in the beginning. And then 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 weeks later, it just crashed and burned. Okay, or I realized that, you know, wow, the Heckle and Jive relationships, wow, this person isn't who I thought they were at all. So I was going for the great, not the good. Been there, done that. And so if you want to have a great relationship, you know, you really have to take some time to think of these things that I'm explaining to you. And I'm doing this not to say, you know, I know everything, because this is simply my interpretation. But I can tell you this, I've been in a rockin' friggin' awesome relationship for 15 years. Never had to work on my relationship. And it's not a coincidence, because I was someone who really sucked at relationships. I sucked at dating. Okay, I sucked at all that stuff because I never knew what the hell I was doing. I was trying to figure it out on the fly. But then when I learned some things, I was able to make some changes, and I was able to focus on the really important things, the things that were going to enable me to create that relationship that I was ultimately looking for. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. So if I had my choice, I'm going for respect. Now, the cool thing is when you go for that, okay, guess what? You'll like the person, okay? Because you'll enjoy being with that person. If they're giving you the things that you need, that'll be pretty obvious. And all that will ultimately lead to what you really want, what you're really looking for, love. So I believe that when you focus on the respect and you allow that person the opportunity to show you that they're the kind of person that you're looking for, and again, you are attracted to them, has to be there, that when that happens, you're going to like them. And ultimately, that like is going to turn into love. So again, this is just my interpretation. It's my feedback, but I'd love to hear from you. Do you agree? Would you pick respect first? Or would you go for love? Or is it more important for you that you really got to like the person? Again, there's no right and wrong in this. It's simply what you believe. And so I have a simple philosophy, is that all you got to do is look and see if your way is working. So you might look back and say, hey, you know what, now I agree that, you know, respect is important. But, you know, in the past, I went for like, or, you know what, I was so focused on love and I let my emotions and my hormones take over. Again, no right or wrong. The past is a valuable tool if you learn from it. but the only way you learn from it is by looking at it. Take some mirror time, face it head on, and see what you need to see in order to get where you want to go. So I know I threw a lot at you. I know it's a little deep today. As always, I want to hear from you. So put your comments, questions, and feedback in the box below. I'll see you next time. Much love.